Hi there and welcome to my kitchen. I am Stacey Shields and I'm going to make a delicious curry for you today. It's going to be a creamy shrimp curry in a coconut tomato broth. It is fabulous. So we'll get started. The first thing we're going to do is in a blender, you're going to put in 4 cloves of garlic, lightly chopped, and none of this really, it doesn't matter how fine you get it because it's all going to get blended up anyways. We have 1.5 teaspoons of fresh ginger. We have 2 serrano chilies. Now these, I chopped them in half and took out the seeds. Now I left the seeds in one of them, and that's where you get the heat, okay? So if you don't like any heat, take all those seeds out. I probably might have left a little bit more in there, but we're having people over for dinner who might not want quite so much heat. So we're also gonna add in 2 tablespoons of water, just to give that a little liquid to go. So we're just gonna blend that really quickly. Just like that. It's a fun little paste. Now, we're also going to go over here. In my big pot, I have 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to get that going. Now, into our oil, we're gonna add, I have 1 stick of cinnamon that I broke in half, and I have 2 bay leaves. And we're just gonna throw those in, give them about 10-20 seconds in the hot oil just to kind of release those flavors. Okay, so go ahead, dump those in. Now we're also going to add in, I have 2.5 cups of onions. They're almost minced, which is like even smaller than a chop. It's teeny tiny. So once we let that cinnamon and bay leaf kind of bubble up a little bit, release those flavors, I'm gonna add in the onions. I'm gonna let that cook for like 10 minutes, let these get nice and soft. So it's been about 10 minutes and our onions are done, they're soft. I want you to look, they're not brown. We didn't let them get brown, just over medium-low heat, just to get them really soft, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in our ginger garlic mixture, and we're going to just dump that in. Just like that. I want to make sure to scrape out all that goodness. You can hear it start to sizzling up in there. Now all we're going to do, a little bit more. You really want to make sure that you get all of it out, because this is a great layer of flavor. We've already got that 1 layer of the cinnamon and the bay leaves in with the onions. Now we're adding a whole new level. That's what curry is all about. It's just about adding layers and layers and layers of flavor. It's delicious. So we're just going to stir this in, and we're going to let it cook just until the water evaporates, which is right about now. It doesn't take long at all. Okay. We're going to add in next, we're going to add in our curry, right? It's a curry, so we have to add in the curry powder. And a curry is just a mixture of spices. In India, everyone kind of has their own family recipe for curry. This is my local grocery store's brand of curry. So, I got it at the grocery store. So, we're just going to sprinkle that in. We're also going to add 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom. And then another 2 tablespoons of water. Just is going to help to incorporate all of that in. Now we're just going to stir. Get that going. Oh, it smells amazing. Okay, so you just want to let that cook really just long enough to get it incorporated. Bella, go lay down. And so that's my dog Bella. So just long enough to let it get a really good flavor. Okay, and that's about good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the things that this curry is named after, right? We called it our creamy shrimp curry with a coconut tomato broth. So we're going to add in those things. So we're going to have 1 can of diced tomatoes. Super easy, super simple. Oh, yum. We're going to have 1 cup of coconut milk. You can get this on the ethnic aisle at your grocery store with Asian foods. We're going to add in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cilantro, chopped up. Get all that goodness. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. So again, we're just going to stir that up, incorporate it. You probably want to let this simmer for maybe like 10 minutes. This is not a curry that's going to cook all day, okay? So we're going to blend that up. We're going to let it simmer just a smidge, and then we're going to add even more yumminess. So all of our flavors now have kind of gotten together in our pot. You can see it's a little bit loose. So most curries call for yogurt, plain yogurt as a binder. We are going to use delicious Philadelphia cream cheese as a binder to thicken it up a little bit, to make it delicious. It's going to make it creamy and yummy. So now as that's melting in, our next step is going to be to add in our shrimp. Now I live in Las Vegas, which is clearly a desert, right? So I am not lucky enough to have access to fresh shrimp like I would be if I were, say, in Savannah making this recipe. I don't know, could happen. So if I were in Savannah, of course I would make it with fresh shrimp. Today I'm going to be using 2 pounds of frozen shrimp defrosted, and it's going to be delicious either way, but if you can, always use fresh, right? Okay, so now I'm going to kind of get that going. I'm going to kind of smush it in. I didn't leave it out long enough to soften it up, so it's still a little chilly from the fridge. But what we're going to do is our shrimp have to be in there for a few minutes anyways, just so they can take on the flavor of the curry. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in. Again, 2 pounds shrimp with shells off, peels off, already cooked. So we will just get the right angle and go ahead and just plop all of those delicious shrimp in there. And this is a great recipe because literally every bite you take, you're going to have a shrimp in your mouth, and that's my favorite kind of shrimp recipe. I love shrimp. So, all right. So again, I'm going to stir all of this in, make sure that cream cheese gets nice and creamy and yummy, and then I'll be back to show you how to plate it up. Okay, so our curry is all yummy, creamy, good. We're ready to plate it up. What I have here is a plate of jasmine rice. Super important that you get the jasmine. It has just a distinct aroma and flavor that is almost magical when you put it with a curry. So all we're going to do then, because I definitely want you to see the deliciousness here, we're going to just spoon it. Oh, look at that shrimp falling all over the place. Just spoon it right on top there. Makes a delicious presentation if you're having people over, or if you're not. It's just so good. It smells so good. So yummy. And now you do want to be sure to get those bay leaves and the cinnamon sticks out before you serve it because you don't want anyone choking up on those. But other than that, oh my gosh, we are done. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of cilantro on top just for an added touch of color. So pretty. And then I definitely have to give it a try, right? That shrimp, yum. So good. If you like curry, you're gonna love this. It was fast, easy, delicious, creamy, so good. So, thank you for letting me make it for you. I know that you're gonna love it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.